Can someone remind the Raiders that they're actually allowed to make moves? Because right now, it feels like they're just sitting back while the rest of the league is making big plays. But then again, this isn't anything new. The Raiders have a history of staying quiet at the start of free agency before making their moves later in the week. That said, they just lost another key piece on defense. According to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, safety Trevon Moehrig is heading to the Panthers on a 3-year deal worth $51 million, with a max value of $60 million. That's a massive payday. It seems like everyone is getting paid today. Earlier, we saw Robert Spillane secure a nice contract, and now Moehrig is cashing in well above his expected market value, making around $17 million per year. Honestly, you can't be mad at him for chasing the bag. He earned it, and the Panthers are getting a talented safety who's only going to get better. His best football is still ahead, and he's a versatile player who can do it all in the secondary. For the Raiders, though, this is a huge loss. Moehrig is coming off his best season yet, starting all 17 games last year and putting up impressive numbers: 104 total tackles, 10 pass deflections, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumble recoveries. I really wanted the Raiders to keep him. I thought they could lock him down for around $10 to $12 million per year, but seeing him get $17 million? At that price, I get why they let him walk. Now the question is, what's next for the Raiders? Do they sign another safety? Do they go after a different player for the secondary? Or do they look to the draft for a young talent to pair with Isaiah Pola-Mao? Whatever they decide, one thing is clear. Moehrig secured the best deal he could in free agency, and the Raiders have some big decisions to make. The Panthers are definitely getting a great player in Trevon Moehrig, but it still stings for the Raiders to lose 2 key pieces on defense. That's just how free agency works. You can't keep everyone. But wait, breaking news. While I was recording this, the Raiders finally picked up the phone and made a move. Their first major signing of free agency, aside from re-signing their own players, is here. Free agent safety Jeremy Chinn is joining the Raiders on a 2-year deal worth over $16 million, with more than 75% of it fully guaranteed at signing. This is a huge addition to Las Vegas's secondary. Honestly, this is a fantastic deal for the Raiders. Getting Chinn for around $8 million per year is an absolute steal. We were all disappointed to see Moehrig leave for the Panthers, but the Raiders wasted no time finding his replacement. Jeremy Chinn, a former second-round pick in the 2020 draft, had to take a 1-year prove-it deal with the Commanders last season. That gamble paid off. In his 5th year, he had a strong season, starting all 17 games and putting up solid numbers: 117 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 5 pass deflections, and 1 interception. His contributions helped Washington shock the league by making it all the way to the NFC Championship game. Unfortunately, their Cinderella run ended with a tough loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, looking at this move, Jeremy Chinn is one of the most athletic and hard-hitting safeties in the league. Pair him with Patrick Graham's defense, and with Pete Carroll coaching him up, this could be a perfect fit. In fact, Chinn's playstyle reminds me a lot of Cam Chancellor. Now, I'm not saying he's on Chancellor's level just yet, but he has similar traits that make him a force on the field. And here's the thing. I don't think the Raiders are done addressing the safety position just yet. They might still make another move to strengthen the secondary even more. But for now, this signing is a major win for Las Vegas. The fact that the Raiders came out swinging with a smart, well-priced move like this is a great sign. Honestly, I'd take Jeremy Chinn over Trevon Moehrig any day, especially at just $8 million per year. A 2-year, $16 million deal for a player of Chinn's caliber is an absolute steal, especially after the season he just had in Washington. Just like that, all the frustration is gone. I'm hyped about this signing, and I know some fans might have mixed feelings, but at this price, there's really nothing to be upset about. Chinn is still young, actually 2 years younger than Moehrig, and he's got a ton of upside. I fully trust him in this new defense, and I think he's going to thrive. If you can't already hear it in my voice, I love this move. It's a great signing and a strong start to free agency. We were all sitting around wondering when the Raiders would finally make a move, and now we know. They're being smart with their decisions instead of just throwing money around like some teams do on day 1 of free agency. But hold on, there's more. Just as I was recording this, the Raiders made yet another move, and honestly, this one made my day. According to Vic Tafur and other sources, Malcolm Koonce is coming back to Las Vegas. Let's go! Koonce is returning on a one-year, $12 million prove-it deal after recovering from a torn ACL. This is a massive signing for the Raiders, and it's clear that Pete Carroll and this new regime made it a priority to bring him back. The only thing that had me worried was how much it would cost to re-sign him. Last year was supposed to be his big breakout season, but he never got the chance because of a season-ending injury before the year even started. Now, he's back, healthy and ready to prove himself. This could be a game changer for the Raiders' defense, and I can't wait to see what's next. We never really got to see Malcolm Koonce showcase his full potential last season, and I honestly thought he'd be asking for a big contract, somewhere around $20 million per year. At that price, I would have been okay with letting him walk. But the fact that the Raiders got him on a one-year, $12 million deal, that's an absolute steal. Just like with Chinn, the Raiders are making smart, calculated moves, bringing in the right players without overpaying. Koonce is exactly the type of guy you want to keep on the roster, and the fact that he's coming back, ready to prove himself, makes this signing even better. If he performs well this season, he could set himself up for a huge payday next offseason. But what really excites me about this move isn't just that Koonce is staying in the silver and black. It's that he's returning to Patrick Graham's system and this stacked defensive line. The Raiders recently brought back Adam Butler, still have Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby locked in, and have Tyree Wilson in the mix. This defensive front is shaping up to be dangerous, and adding Koonce back into the rotation makes it even stronger. And now, with Pete Carroll coaching him up, the potential is sky high. If he can stay healthy, I truly believe Koonce is in for a breakout season. We saw flashes of his talent toward the end of the 2023 season when Antonio Pierce took over. He racked up 8 sacks in just the last few games. Across all 17 games, he finished with 43 total tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 17 quarterback hits, 3 forced fumbles, and those 8 sacks. Honestly, this move has made my day. Yes, we had to release some players and missed out on a few signings, and there was definitely some concern early on. But as free agency unfolds, it's clear the Raiders are being smart and strategic. And every time I go to edit this, more good news keeps coming in, which is why I had to add this update. Hopefully you all are enjoying this breakdown. But I have to say, bringing back Malcolm Koonce has definitely been the highlight of my day. No matter what happens next, this move is a huge win for the Raiders. Of course, we knew we wouldn't be able to re-sign every free agent, and at this point, most of the key ones have already found new homes. But keeping Koonce in Las Vegas is a major victory. That being said, it looks like the Raiders have lost yet another key player. According to sources, the Green Bay Packers are expected to sign former Raiders cornerback Nate Hobbs to a 4-year, $48 million contract with $16 million guaranteed. And just like that, another former Raider gets paid. Hobbs is set to make $12 million per year in Green Bay. And honestly, good for him. He deserves it. From the moment he was drafted, he's been a reliable contributor in the secondary, especially in the slot. Looking at the way the Raiders have approached free agency, it's clear they've been careful with their cap space, making smart, team-friendly deals, bringing back Adam Butler, signing Chinn, and now re-signing Koonce. Every move has been calculated, and as much as I would have loved to keep Hobbs, we saw the writing on the wall. I mentioned in my last video that it didn't seem like he was coming back, and it turns out there were only 2 teams in the running, the Packers and the Raiders. But at $12 million per year, yeah, the Raiders weren't going to match that. It is what it is. Thank you for your time in the silver and black, Nate. Best of luck in Green Bay. But Raider Nation, all is not lost. If the front office can turn things around and some of the remaining free agents are still available, there are solid options out there. Maybe they go after a guy like Byron Murphy or sign Dre Greenlaw. Moves like that could help fill the gaps left behind. Just like how the team replaced Moehrig with Chinn. At the end of the day, I'm really happy with the way the Raiders are handling free agency. They're not rushing in and overspending, and I respect that. With a new coaching staff, a new GM, and a fresh approach, I've got faith that they'll continue making the right moves. Now, I want to hear from you, Raider Nation. What are your thoughts on these recent signings? How do you feel about Nate Hobbs heading to the Packers? And how excited are you about Malcolm Koonce staying in Vegas? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if anything else big happens, I'll be back with more updates. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always up to date. Until next time.